story to tell. Xian JH-7 or Jian Hong-7, NATO codename Flounder, otherwise known as Flying Leopard, was a two-seat Chinese fighter bomber designed to replace the Chinese aging fleet of Harbin 85 and Nanchang Q5 aircraft. JH-7 runs the feature is worse when standing next to the J-11 or J-16, thanks to the advantage of high localization rate, cheap manufacturing cost, simplicity in operation and maintenance that is still gain trust from both the People's Liberation Army Air Force and the People's Liberation Army Navy. JH-7 is considered to be simpler and lighter than Su-24 and F-111 and is much cheaper than the Su-30 versatile fighter with high combat performance. In the mid-1970s, the Air Force first sought to commission a modern strike fighter into service and submitted a request to the country's Ministry of Aviation Industry. The program was authorized only in 1983, when the country's economic upturn meant additional funds were available for such high-end military programs. The JH-7 was the most ambitious fighter program the country had developed until that time. The full-scale production of original JH-7 began in 1984. The first JH-7 prototype rolled out in August 1988 and unveiled to the public in September 1988 at Farbrook International Air Show. The JH-7 entered service shortly before the introduction of the Russian Su-27 air superiority fighter into Chinese service, which alongside its more advanced variants such as the Su-30 and domestically manufactured J-11B, provided the People's Liberation Army Air Force with the world-leading air-to-air combat capabilities, ensuring that the JH-7 would be conserved exclusively for a strike role. With the disintegration of the Soviet Union and Beijing's subsequent reconciliation with Moscow, removing any potential for conflict, what had long been the People's Liberation Army's primarily potential adversary, the Pacific Theater and the United States military became China's primarily security concern, particularly considering the sharp deterioration in relations with the Western Bloc from 1989. The JH-7's long range and high payload incidentally made it an ideal anti-shipping strike platform, and the fighter entered service in roughly equal numbers in both the Navy and the Air Force, as a result of its significant potential for maritime interdiction. The exterior of the machine has European-inspired design lines, high-mounted square-back wings, and single-tail rudder. The aircraft was designed with two crew members, sitting in tandem with ejection seats for both pilots. The cockpit accommodates a pilot and a weapons load officer and is protected by armor plates. The back seat is reserved for the weapons load officer and is fitted slightly higher than front seat to provide clear visibility of the battlefield. Each seat has its own back hinge canopy. The raised fuselage spine block views to the rear by added internal volume. The JH-7 is powered by two Rolls-Royce Spray Mark 202 turbofan engines. Each engine can produce 54.29 kN of dry thrust, and its thrust afterburner is 91.26 kN. The engines were aspirated through smallish intakes found on either side of the fuselage, just aft of the cockpit. China signed an agreement with Rolls-Royce in 1975 to reproduce the Spray Mark 202 engine through reverse engineering. Later production variants are powered by 2WS Nanchang Link turbofans, a Chinese licensed copy of the Mark 202 built by the Xi'an Aero Engine Factory since 2004. The aircraft can fly at the maximum speed of 1,808 km per hour. Its cruise speed is 903 km per hour. The normal and ferry ranges of the JH-7 are 1,759 km and 3,700 km respectively. The surface ceiling of the aircraft is 16,000 meters. The aircraft weighs around 14,500 kg, while its maximum takeoff weight is 28,475 kg. All landing gear has twin gears, obviously for operating on rough runways. The nose gear retracting backward and the main gear retracting up and forward into the fuselage. On the approach, with gear down, the JH-7A has an unmistakable resemblance to an Anglo-French two-seat Sepakat Jaguar strike fighter, the resemblance not being so strong from other angles. Standard weaponry includes 123mm GSH-23L internal cannon. The aircraft has 9 hardpoints, of which 6 are located under wing, 2 beneath wingtips, and 1 under the centralized fuselage section. It can carry 9,000 kg of payload. The JH-7 is equipped with Type 232H Eagle-Eye multifunction fire control radar, which tracks targets information of YJS subsonic anti-ship missiles from a maximum distance of 70 km to 100 km. It also offers fixed air-to-air and navigation capabilities. The radar cannot operate on land due to its deficiency of terrain and precision strike abilities. While formidable, the JH-7 has largely been surpassed in its strike capabilities by the more advanced J-16, which entered service in 2013. Based on the J-11 airframe, the platform is one of the most advanced strike fighter in service, possible for most capable anywhere in the world, and makes use of a number of technologies developed for the JH-7. The J-16 retains a number of advantages, including deploying more advanced air-to-air munitions for beyond visual range engagements, for superior maneuverability and a higher speed, range, and maximum altitude, among a number of other attributes. With the PLA Air Force having demonstrated its confidence in the new strike platform in early 2018, displaying it alongside the new J-20 stealth fighter, the J-16 is set to enter service in ever greater numbers in future. The military's need for the JH-7 may well decrease as a result, and the strike platform has reportedly since been converted into an advanced experimental electronic warfare platform comparable to the US EA-18G Growler. My video of Xi'an JH-7 ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.